الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. All the praise and thanks are due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In salutation upon Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and all the Anbiya that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent for human guidance. It's an amazing time or amazing period of time for us globally. If you just look at the last 1 to 2 weeks, it's been quite amazing to see the tumultuous events in financial markets. The collapse of the Turkish lira, the Argentinian peso was also collapsed. And if you look at the rand dollar today, it's more than 15 to the dollar. It's quite remarkable to see these dramatic financial changes. These shifts really made me wonder about how we value something. How do we estimate and how do we calculate? And I know for many of us living in South Africa, you may argue that if you look at the value of the rand at 15, it just doesn't make sense in terms of the strength of this country, the resources it had, etc. It's technically probably more superior to the American system, yet we are where we are today. And these estimates are most likely incorrect. On the contrast, another interesting example is Japan. And it's another economy they say is in financial trouble. But what's amazing with Japan is that they technically have no debt. Because they have no debt, they say they're in trouble. If you look at Japanese people, they by and large like to save money. And if you look at their banks, their interest rates are almost like 0%. They almost want to pay people to borrow money from them. And yet that economy is perceived as being weak and in financial trouble. Yet an economy like the American one, where the country is in obscene debt, is yet a strong economy. And again, are these estimates calculated? They're in reality incorrect. So there does seem to be a recurring problem about these estimates. And does it mean that humans are generally bad at mathematics? Can't we count properly? We just can't count. But when you look at, when you think about this more deeply, these are issues about estimation, about value, and talking about just economies. And these are material things about wealth, etc. But I'd like to focus the attention slightly differently on something, on the bigger picture. And the focus of my talk is the following ayah in Surah Hajj. مَا قَدْرُ اللَّهَ حَقَّ قَدْرِهِ إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَقَوِيٌّ عَزِيزٌ. Very short, beautiful ayah, and it's translated as follows. No just estimate have they made of Allah. For Allah is He who is strong and able to carry out His will. مَا قَدْرُ اللَّهُ حَقَّ قَدْرِهِ. How do we estimate and quantify the value of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? We might moan about the value of our rand and the potential for buying stuff. But when we think about the value of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, do we have the same concern and value system that we apply? And this verse is something we discussed on the halqa on Monday and Tuesday night 2 weeks ago. And I thought it would be something just good to reflect on. So what is the value of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? And if we just look at the quality of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as that of Al-Khaliq, the one who creates, or the creator, we often hear of the term Allah is the creator of the heavens and the earth. Allah is the originator of the heavens and the earth. But what does this really mean practically? And when we think of this concept of the heavens and the earth and Allah being the creator, when we think of Allah as the creator of the heavens and the earth, There's a very beautiful post that was going around on WhatsApp and stuff. And it was a picture taken from just the outer area of Jupiter, and taking a picture of the Earth. And what is amazing, we often look at the Earth looking at Jupiter, but it was the other way around. And you see this massive rings on the planet Jupiter, and you see that one dot. And that dot was the Earth. And if you imagine on that dot is 7 billion people. And each person is trying to claim that they are far greater, or their economies are greater than everyone else's. This is just a planet within our solar system, not the galaxy, not the universe, and a dot. And it really comes to question our value of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Like we're worried about the value of the rain, do we really value our Creator, who is the Master Creator of the heavens and the earth? And Allah reminds us another ayah, لَخَلْقُ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ أَكْبَرُ مِنْ خَلْقِ النَّاسِ وَلَكِنَّ أَكْثَرَ النَّاسِ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ, which translates as follows: assuredly the creation of the heavens and the earth is a greater matter than the creation of men, yet most men understand not. If we look at our existence, is insignificant in the greater scheme of things. And if we truly appreciate our place, then we'd be able to appreciate Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the grand scheme of things, and how we should be viewing our lives, and how we should be viewing individuals around us. There's another ayah that's very beautiful in Surah Hajj. A very a parable. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives parables sometimes just to make us reflect and think as to how we appreciate and think of things. And Allah says, Ya ayyuhan nasu, O mankind, here is a parable set forth. Listen to it. Those on whom besides Allah you call on cannot create even a fly, if they all met together for the purpose. And if the fly should snatch away anything from them, they would have no power to release it from the fly. Feeble are those who petition and those whom they petition. Now, talking about fly is such an insignificant thing. You just want to swat it away, and as summer and the rains come, you'll see a lot of flies. And you think of that thing as so insignificant. Yet when we see a drone, we're so amazed. Capability, the aerial images. But we think of a fly, it's just the best. But if you think of a drone, it needs battery life, can go a certain distance, it needs to have some controller, and if the distance is too far, the signal isn't there, and it can't function. But yet we're flying these flies, they self-propagate, they sustainable on their own, they don't need anyone to help them. And this is something so insignificant. And Allah says that if at the day of humanity tried to create a fly, they couldn't do it. And if you think of that small, irritating creature with its own brain, with its own function, with its own ability to find food, it's amazing that, when we're talking about the significance of men, or rather the insignificance of men, we really need to think again. But the statement of the verse is so amazing. It says if the fly should snatch away anything from them, they would have no power to release it from the fly. And this is quite amazing. When you think of, flies transmit diseases, they sit on food and they move over and they pick up stuff and they move it across. And interestingly enough about how flies eat is that when they pull out their tongue, they push an enzyme to digest the food and they slurp it up. And Allah says that if the fly should snatch away something from you, you couldn't get it back. Because the enzyme has digested it and it's no more what it was. So, at that minute level, such an insignificant level, we realize the greatness of Allah who put the challenge to humanity which cannot be beaten. And yet it relates to something as insignificant as the fly. So I think there's a lot more that needs to be thought through is for us as humans, when we think of estimation, when we think of value. This last part of the verse is also beautiful. It says, "Feeble are those who petition and those whom they petition." And it's a very simple statement. Feeble are those who petition and those whom they petition. It really speaks to, in a very basic sense about idolatry, where these people call on these stones or idols, and it's feeble, the thing that they call on, because it's just a stone. But equally so is the person doing this petitioning, who's asking these idols, is also feeble because he's so stupid, fundamentally. But when we think of it in a more grander scheme, about who do we call on, who do we value? When we compare a human to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is incomparable. And I think as Muslims we have not been able to overcome that. We have not come to that tawheed. Even the greatest of minds, whether it be on the science field of Einstein or in the spiritual field of Al-Ghazali, these are humans. Even Al-Bukhari, Abu Hanifa, even the messengers themselves were human. And they understood their role and position vis-a-vis their creator, the master creator, and they valued that creator in a very, very different manner. They don't just imagine Allah as just a title, but they see Allah as the ultimate creator, master, the all-wise, the all-knowing. And it's interesting, there's an ayah in Surah Anbiya, which means the prophets. Allah says of the Anbiya, He says, "They speak not before He speaks, and they act in all things by His command. He knows what is before them and behind them." It ends off, "And they stand in awe and reverence of His glory." This is the messengers, the prophets of Allah. And this is their relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They stand in awe of Allah. They do not speak before He speaks. And it's again that whole issue of how we value and estimate things. And in particular, as Muslims, how do we value and appreciate our Master Creator? And just to come back, this whole talk was really started off with the issue around estimation. We have so much of talk in the community around the value of the rand. We estimate. We've seen the Turkish lira, the Argentine peso, all collapsing. And what is the true value of your currency? What's the value of your assets? How do you appreciate it? But that's on the material level. What is the true estimation? And I'll come back to the first verse which I began this talk. مَا قَدْرُ اللَّهَ حَقَّ قَدْرِهِ إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَقَوِيٌّ عَزِيزٌ. No just estimate have they made of Allah, for Allah is He who is strong and able to carry out His will. And I think, the issue of value is not just a mundane one. When we think of value, when we think of the rand, we know with our money, with the rand, we can make things happen. You want stuff, you got the rand, you got money, you can do stuff. Now your rand is valueless, so you can't do stuff. It's the value you ascertain to something, and its ability to make the difference and change. That's how we value and estimate things. However, do we have that same attitude and view to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who also can make things happen, and will make things happen, undoubtedly. And it's a real lament that we value the rand in such a way, but yet we don't value our Creator. And we want to put equals or comparators to Allah and His Kalam. And that is really unfortunate, and it's something that we really need to rethink how we perceive our Creator. We see the beautiful rain, it's been cold and dry, and you see this massive, beautiful rain, and you'll see the blossoms come out. And that is evidence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's our Creator. Tons of water in the sky. It's difficult to imagine. Allah says He could make the sky fall on you. It seems like so mundane. You walk, with your head in the air. You think of the clouds above your head. There's tons of water above your head. This is our creator, such a master creator. He sends it down in due measure, and you see the produce that comes forward. And the insignificance of a fly. He created that fly which we have it's pure irritation for us. But it's an amazing creation. And that is the master creator of something as insignificant as that. And how do we truly value Allah and His kalam? And I think it's important that we really, it's not just about appreciating Allah, but giving due reverence and understanding to the word of Allah. When we read an ayah of the Quran, we need to understand what it says, and we need to shake in awe, because this is the word of the absolute creator. No other word should or can compare with it. And that's something that we really need to change our mindset with, inshallah. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.